Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am the Down Under Maker. How is everybody this morning? This morning is not as buildy as I would normally do on my streams. Things have been very, very hectic in the Maker house, and as a result, I've just had no time to really prep properly. What we will probably end up doing is seeing if we can YOLO a print on the box turtle. I've spent a lot of time over the last few days, and well, last few weeks to be more accurate, trying to get this thing set up. While Armored 3D Printing, good friend of the channel, was doing his box turtle yesterday, I just took some downtime for me and I fettled it. I took apart all of the extruders, cleaned out all the filament. I stripped everything out and got rid of lots of little tags of filament that were stuck in various bits of the drive. I cleaned out the turtleneck, the little thing that expands and contracts to tell the motors to speed up and slow down. Lots of little things just to try and make it get to the point where we could hopefully do a print at some stage, and maybe we'll YOLO it. One thing I do need to know that I've just been setting up though is, let's jump you across to here. Remember a couple of weeks ago we were doing the buttons on the front of the Ender 3? I still haven't managed to get back to this, so I'm just about to send the clear shouldn't be busy. Oh, yes it is. There we go. I'm just about to send the job for the clear filament part of the button, and we can get that going while we're doing things. Let's set up the side camera so it can sort of vaguely see what's going on. Yeah, that'll do. You can sort of see over my shoulder a little bit too. So we'll get that printing, and we'll do some various other things. Hopefully we'll get to the point where we can print the stop button too. I've also got a whole bunch of stuff I need to dismantle to take the parts back, things like fans and hot ends and stuff from where I was planning to do Stealth Changer. And while we're chatting, we're just going to talk about things like FormNext. And it looks like Jeff, who has been dealing with a whole bunch of issues with his Raspberry Pi, has managed to get that sorted out, so that's good. Let's go back to that one and move you guys up to here so I can see you in front of me. So a couple of weeks ago, Jeff was dealing with some issues with the Raspberry Pi, and he blew a couple up. And then I was able to put him onto a website that can get them locally for an awful lot cheaper than the local storefront that sells them, who frankly were ripping him off by about 30% over what you can get them for. So I was happy you managed to hook him up, and he's got some good stuff. Now, the future of the channel. What's going on? Next year, we're probably going to have a different stream day. Why? Because my 3-year-old, he's going from pre-kindy up to kindy, which is basically going to mean that, sorry, I'm just packing stuff away as I chat, which is going to mean she's in school on different days. So theoretically speaking, we're going to be probably streaming Monday nights, although that's still to be determined. We'll cross that bridge a little closer to the time, but yeah, that means that we hopefully will have a different stream day, and it'll be a little easier because nobody seems to really stream on Monday nights. So we'll be in the clear, and we shouldn't trip over too many other streamers on that. So theoretically speaking, we'll be able to just do what we do, but for longer and easier, because we won't have other streamers around us doing our thing. Other things, I do have some beta gear coming. It's been delayed due to FormNext and the various companies having most of their staff at FormNext, so it's not arrived yet, which is why the Voron is back out and in public. Let's give you a quick... There it is. And the box turtle's on the top. So that's giving us time to play with that in the meantime. once all the beta gear turns up, then it's going to be off behind camera where nobody can see it to make sure that I don't break any of my NDAs. And I am just going through all the stuff on my desk, realizing I've been hoarding lots and lots and lots of crap that I need to sort through. Now this, believe it or not, is a drawer handle. But I keep it here because it's great for soldering on. I can rest my soldering iron on it and it's not going to destroy anything because it's got so much thermal mass, it just sinks the heat. I've got things like hot end fans that I need to pack away. I've got revos to strip out of tool heads and that sort of stuff. So we're going to do some of that today. And FormNext, who here was a little disappointed with the way things were handled at Bontech, because I was. They were warned by a bunch of people in advance that their website probably wasn't going to cope. Even despite the Cloudflare issues, we're not talking about the Cloudflare issues at this point. Put it in a glass cabinet, then it's collecting, not hoarding. I like that, Greenie. That's a very good win, man. That is good. So I was going, yeah. They were warned in advance that the popularity of their product was going to way outstrip what their website could handle, and it would probably be a good idea to spool up a Shopify or similar. And they chose to ignore that suggestion. And the pre-release of Index was a little bit of a poop show. There was 1,200 units in total. I think it was split 600 Prusa, 600 for what they call the dev kit, which is the one for Clipper open source stuff. Well, actually, from what I understand, it doesn't really matter what firmware you use. You could use RepRap or even Marlin if you really wanted to torture yourself. I mean, torture yourself with Marlin, not RepRap. RepRap's really cool. Yeah, if you really wanted to torture yourself, you could then go with Marlin even. But yeah, the way it was done, the website just couldn't cope. It was basically everybody was hitting refresh over and 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 over, and things just went sideways for them. Their platform just simply couldn't handle it. Somebody even suggested that they might be running WordPress, which is it was never going to handle it if they were self-hosting. So on the other side, let's flip that coin over and say the community on day one, when it was supposed to be launched, they handled the disappointment of the launch being pushed back 24 hours amazingly. I was on the Discord at for Bontech, and there was an Index channel, and everybody in there was just chatting away, happy, discussing their plans, what printer they were going to put it onto. And even when the delays were announced and it was all pushed back, everybody had a really good sense of humor about it. It wasn't really a drama as far as the people in chat were concerned. And then 24 hours later, everybody was now waiting on Bontech's Discord, and everybody was watching the... Oh, hi, Havoc. We're just chatting about the Index release. Yeah, the way things went down, everybody just started hammering the website, and it was offline even before the announcement stream came live. 3D Musketeers, Grant, he'd been chatting with us for best part of 24 hours, like on and off, as he slept and as he toured around FormNext, letting us know what was going on. And then about 20-25 minutes before his stream went live, the website was effectively unavailable for most people. It was just, if you managed to get into a slot on the server, it was because everybody else had timed out. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest. You missed out, Havoc. That's disappointing. I saw you in the chat. Now, I was sitting chatting privately with people like Ella Fox and Esoterical. We were all in that queue, and I was just about to give up because they'd said at one stage that all the stock was gone. It was actually announced by Grant on the YouTube stream that all the stock was gone. And then all of a sudden, I think it might have been Wexter came into the video and said, no, there's still stock there. There's still stock there. It's just that the website's getting pummeled. So what I did was I jumped on, I hit refresh like every couple of minutes, and all of a sudden I got one. What we think happened was that once people heard that they were sold out, they started going, oh, it's not worth it. And even if they'd got them in the carts, they were assuming that the stock was gone and they weren't going to be able to finish. So they just abandoned the carts. And once those carts timed out, more stock all of a sudden came available again. So I managed to get one of those slots. Ella managed to get one of those slots, and Esoterical, as far as I know, he missed out. It was kind of disappointing because there was three of us. Well, I was chatting to each of them individually, but there was the three of us all sitting there trying to get stock, and I think he missed out. Tulsa, you missed out as well. Disappointing, man. Did order a kit upgrade to the Core 1 Plus. That was actually a really cheap upgrade, and to be honest, I'm not sure why many people would actually order the kit. The parts should be available open source for printing, and the firmware will be just a download from their website. So you caught a Pokemon. Hi, TJ. Yes, I did manage to snag one of the indexes. I got a dev kit slot. Now, I did post it on my Discord. There was a couple of, you wasn't able to get in on that, no. There's, the dev kit has got two versions as far as the website was concerned. Let me see if I can bring it up without doxing anybody. No, that's not the one we want. We want the other one. Here we go. And that's easy to read too anyway. Hello, that's better. Lip reading. Was it bad lip reading? That speak up. So let me go back and start with where I think I left off. So delivery in theory starts Q1. You get this Pioneer plaque, whatever that is. I'm assuming it's going to be something roughly akin to the Voron plaques. You were surprised when they announced 8 was possible on, oh, you mean on the Prusa? Yeah, one of the things they were driving for was to get them a little bit skinnier, and that's what the delays have been partially caused by. That, and along with getting production ramped up. So 8 on a Prusa is going to be a very nice solution. And as I understand it, the Prusa kit is only for the original Core 1 at this point, not for the L. Don't know all the details, to be honest. I didn't dig into it too deeply. So in the developer kit version, which is what I've put my money down on, there's an option for 8 tools or 4 tools. Or there's an option for a 50-20 fan, a 2x40-10 fan, or straight up CPAP. I need to make a decision, guys, and you guys are probably going to have to help me a little bit closer to the time which one I pick. It might be that we actually pick something that's the most developed in terms of there's lots of people who are getting these things early. Modbot announced on his stream today that he's already got one. We might just, oh, hi, Ahmed. I think I've got my box turtle ready to go, so we might YOLO a print. But back to what I was saying, yeah, so a little bit closer to Christmas, we'll probably get more information on when the details will be coming out. What was the fan choices again? Single 50-20, which is a high-powered fan, 2x40-10s, or full CPAP. And whether that's included or it's just the parts to help you hasn't been really properly details given yet. I mean, I've already got CPAP on this, so yeah, shrugs. The other alternative is maybe I invest in the 8 tools and throw it on one of the V0s. And then I have some spare tools, and when the full production comes out, I can then put it, get just a base unit and maybe a couple of extra heads, and then go from there with a second build. So it's all to be decided. 2 times 4010 9K RPM. Oh, have you seen more information? Oh, awesome. Honestly, things have been crazy. My son Ryder, he's just turned 2. He's been really sick, full of snot and nasty stuff coming out of everywhere. So I haven't been sleeping much, so I haven't had time to look. So yeah, let's go back to that graphic for one more minute. I need to go here for that. I need to, I've added a whole bunch of new things in OBS, and I haven't had time to transfer them across to the Stream Deck as yet. So they had 4 tools on a V0 and it sold me. Now they've got the new narrow versions Havoc, it might be that we can get 5, and that would be, yeah, I can see why the choice would make sense, Brad. It certainly seems the most flexible, especially, although, like I said, we'll monitor things and see what the other content creators who are getting them in advance, what the influencer packs are doing, and then we'll see from there, because I don't want to develop too much myself because my CAD skills still are a bit crappy, but I'm willing to do some of it myself if I have to, things to make it my own if I have to. So yeah, now Big Tree Tech, they've launched their VVD units. I've been advised that I might see one. Whether that's going to turn up in the near future or the long distant future, no idea. I won't be able to show you guys anything that's going on until they clear the NDA off it. So anybody's guess in that regard, but the reception on it does seem to have been reasonably positive. And I can hear that I've picked up Ryder's cold. Yay. So yeah, that's my take on the Vivid. Although having said that, let me bring up another picture, because this has me a little intrigued. Let's go here and down a bit. Okay, just trying to find this picture that I spotted here. Back to here. Sorry guys, I know it's fumbling around a bit, but I'm just making sure that I don't dox anybody. Wait, Dan, I know there is a problem with your stream. Where is Nick? Yeah, where is Nick? Maybe that's why I'm having all this difficulty today. I don't have him heckling me for everything. I'm sorry, I'm just reading all the comments and catching up. So here is the Big Tree Tech Vivid Buffer. If this is going to be available as a standalone item, it's actually going to make a lot of people very happy if they bought Box Turtle, I think, because a lot of people seem to, even now, be having issues with the hub. I've seen that Projects in Dad's Garage, he released a new version of the hub. That's what I'm using, which is a little bit stretched to make the filament paths easier to deal with. And this might be, if it turns out to be more suitable, a drop-in replacement type process. So let's just have a quick look at this. It's got gate sensors, so it knows when the filament reaches each and every lanes on the entry, which is a different way of doing it to the Box Turtle. It's got a buffer for, it says ran out, but I'm assuming it's run out, and a buffer for the outlet sensor. Plus here is the bit that expands and contracts to allow for filament drive to be a little bit out of sync and to compensate. But here's the really interesting part, guys. A reset and a boot button, which points out to me that it's going to have its own onboard MCU to handle its data comms. And Luke from Big Tree Tech has already said publicly that there's going to be a USB hub on board inside the Vivids, So that means that you'll be able to plug this back to the Vivid, and then from the Vivid back to the main printer, and hopefully have a sort of semi-removable or portable platform that you could take elsewhere if you needed to. So that might make life particularly interesting and a little bit easier for some people who've had nothing but hassles with the hub. Mine hasn't been the hub that's been too much of an issue. Once I printed Project's modified version. Hi GTR Dad, how are you? Yeah, once I printed the modified version that Projects and Dad's Garage put out, so I like him on everywhere, and subscribe if you haven't, although he's got way more subs than me, so I'm guessing all of you are. Yeah, so he's put it out on printables, and if you're having trouble with your box turtle, I definitely recommend printing that hub out. It's made my life a little simpler. Let me just swap out of this screen again so I don't dox anybody, and see if I can spot any of the other interesting stuff that came up. Nothing in particular. Let's make that full screen and then go back to here. I really need to fix that up. So this was sent to me by somebody at FormNext, and this is the backside of the indexing operation. It's not really clear what tool headboard they've got going on inside the shroud, but it is just a AN tool headboard. And let's see if we can get it to play again. There we go. You can see the little red LED flashing, which is the heater light. And that's, I mean, if that 4010 solution is available just to print and to go with, then that might be what I end up doing. So will Index be available for back order now? Brad, I honestly don't know. They haven't made an announcement on that. I think that the management there were seeing, that looks like an Orbiter 3. Potentially, I honestly don't know. I think the management were taken by surprise by the sheer volume of interest and of immediate purchase. They were expecting, based on what Olaf said, to be selling out within hours to maybe a day, not what effectively turned out to be almost sold out within an hour. And then it was just the dregs being returned to the queue once carts timed out. So yeah, I think they were caught a little bit unawares, and they certainly seemed to not understand what we already realized, was that it was going to sell out way faster than they were expecting. So let's switch back to me for a second again, so I don't dox anybody, and see if we've got any more videos I can show you. No, there's nothing I can really show you without revealing who was messaging me, and it's not the sort of thing I would do without. I just realized I didn't hit print on the Prusa. So oh, hi John. So where we're at this point, for anybody who's joining late, a bit less buildy this stream. It's more chatting about what's going on with the stream and experiences we've had with FormNext and what we're expecting to see. Have they not been paying attention? Index is being talked about everywhere, probably the most anticipated thing for quite some time. Yeah, exactly. But I think maybe they've been too focused on building the product to pay a lot of attention to the broader landscape. And I think it just caught them unawares. They were not expecting to have their... Oh, hi David, you're back again. I don't think they were expecting to have their website pummeled the way it was. And trying to do it all in-house was always going to be pushing poop uphill. So, like I said, the future of the channel is probably going to be that we end up changing streaming days to accommodate my daughter going up from pre-K to kindy, and the extra days and different days that that's going to involve. And even now, I've got to probably cut this stream short to keep it under 90 minutes because Mrs. Maker's got Ryder while and normal daycare's unavailable. So yeah, I've had about 5, maybe 6 hours sleep in the last 72 hours. It's been a win for me. Although it did mean that I was awake for and able to chat with everybody at FormNext. So that was one win, one perk of it all. So yeah, one thing that did shock me about what's been going on at FormNext has been the lack of enthusiasm, or relative lack at least, for the H2C. I mean, all the fanboys are all raving over it, of course, but there's been a lot of content creators who've got them and gone, oh, okay. Even 3D Printing Nerd, if you have a look at his video, he seems to be thoroughly underwhelmed and has some concerns about some of the design choices. So yeah, for somebody like Joel, who's normally very, very frank, but usually on the upbeat side of things to raise those concerns, it does seem to be something to keep your eyes on. David, it's in theory ready to go. I had this all set up in the kitchen yesterday while I was watching your stream. So I've wheeled it back in here on the trolley and it's standing right next to me. Let me see if I can pan that one. And down a bit. Let's turn the face tracking off. There we go. So it's all here ready to go. Let me tilt that down so it doesn't blind you guys. So we are going to give it a shot in a few minutes. Behind me, I've got the Prusa ready to print the missing clear buttons. Remember, we had problems with the clear buttons on the Prusa. Sorry, for the Ender that I printed. They didn't print properly. So I've got the original version. I'm just going with the original print profile and we'll see what happens. I normally like CNC Kitchen, but his vid on the H2C made me stifle my vomit. Was he very gushing about it? I haven't actually seen it. Oh, okay. That's not like Stefan, but to each his own, I guess. His experience must have been very different to some of the others. Hi, Clownhammer. Have I upgraded to the Core 1 Plus yet? Very much considering it. I just need to download the files, John. From what I can tell, there's absolutely no need to buy the kit itself, although I know a couple of people in the chat have, because the parts are all just 3D printable, so they should be available very soon if they're not already. One thing I did note is that our good friends at Bontech, they did... Hello? Face tracking on? To come back, there we go. Our good friends at Bontech did release on the GitHub what they had so far. So let me see if I can find that. Not that one. Bontech SE GitHub. Oh, Bontech AB, that's what it was. So let's go there. And let's go to there. And I just need to change something. One sec, guys. There. So this is their index content. Let's have a look, quick look. The Bontech's index is modular mechanical tool changing platform for FDM/FFF, blah, blah, blah. Unlike traditional single tool setups or filament swapping systems, Bontech index swaps out entire tool assemblies, including the nozzle, heat break, and filament path, enabling true multi-material, multi-nozzle, and multi-application 3D printing. It integrates proprietary blah, blah, blah. This is all the stuff we know. The dynamic dual drive that adapts the filament resistance without sensors or electronics. Okay, so the way they're driving the filament is different. Let's have a look at these CAD drawings and see if we can open them up. Index simplified step file. Let's download that. Is that downloading? Yes, that's downloading. and Fusion. I'll get Fusion loading in the background. Hopefully it won't bog this computer down. It's pretty well spec'd, so it shouldn't. Let me know if you start losing frames. H2C seems like a ridiculous workaround, and you need 2 AMS units to get 7 colors. Yes, it seems like it's basically forcing people to buy another AMS, amongst other things. It's 1/2 of ABBA. Okay, John. I'll take your word for it. So, bear with me a sec, guys. I've never put Fusion up on my screen before, my broadcast screens before. So, open from my computer, simplified step. Let me know if it gets chuggy, guys. It'll be interesting to see. Well, that looks pretty. So let's go. This is the one I can reuse. Let's reuse this one and then go add a source. And let's go window capture, Fusion. Okay. Select a window to capture Fusion. Okay. Let's see if I can go back to here. Can you guys see it? Yes, you can. Hopefully. H2 vomit. So can you guys see Fusion, guys? That's what I need to know from you guys so I can deal with it accordingly. Oh no. It sits in the middle of the origin. My Taiwanese occasionally requires translation. Yes, you can see it. Thank you, guys. So let's have a teardown if we can. Let's try. So front on. It's very simplified. So that appears to be the motor, and a mock-up of a motor, and that appears to be a single tool head. Sorry, I'm trying not to make you guys seasick. Let's go there. Not a good sign for probing. They at least they didn't Z-home China. They just Z-homed coal mine or something. So I've just disabled the tool and the motor so we can have a look at the body here. There we go. So that appears to be a bolt-on plate, which matches up what we saw on the videos. Something to screw the shroud together here by the looks of it. And this is the part that comes out. This is the tool head part, the replaceable part. Continuing around to the last side. And yeah, screw down the bottom. So let's turn all those back on so we can see the motor. I'm not sure that's adding anything, so I'll turn that off. Aha! Then we can see this unit without the... So it appears like the unit we saw on display simply bolts over this. Is the final version injection molded? What we're seeing on the videos, John, is not really explaining an awful lot, and they've not really announced an awful lot. So we might have to wait for the influencers like Steve Builds, etc., to show us that stuff. Modbot's already got his unit, so I can only imagine that Steve and Taylor, etc., already have theirs. Oh, the Prusa has finally woken up. The preheating cycle on this thing is really long, and I just realized I don't have the vent open for PetG. So, yeah, this looks like what the suggestion is, that we bolt the 4010 fans on here, down the side, and then Steve was very sneaky about this. It's Steve. He has so many secret ninja things going on. SLS is what they said this morning. Okay, yeah. How much is SLS is entirely up for confusion at this point. We know that that bit is largely SLS. How much of the rest of it is SLS is, yes, still to be discovered, I guess. I'm going to give Steve a hard time about honoring NDAs next time I see him. I know I play a little bit loose with my NDAs, but I never go far enough to actually reveal anything specifically trade secret. So I'm just having a look. So presumably these screw holes are for mounting stuff to the front. Projects, you're here. We were just talking about you. Were your ears burning? We were talking about the fact that you'd done some development on your own version of the Box Turtle hub, and that lots of people seem to find it useful. But what we're doing right now, projects, is we're just having a look at the simplified CAD version of Index that has been released onto the Bontech GitHub, and just having a look at a few bits and pieces. The demo toolhead was in FDM but won't be for the production. That was my understanding of it. The machining process and the everything else that's needed. Because when you print in SLS, it sounds like it's going to be this amazing thing, and people have this image in their head that it's going to be just like resin printing, but quite often it does need post-processing. So the chances is that they'll be printing the bulk of this on the SLS, and then it'll have to go into a CNC to have final tolerances machined and things like that. Well, for those of you who don't know, Projects in Dad's Garage has his own channel. Please go and like and subscribe and all that stuff if you haven't already. Top dude, he's helped me a lot in terms of getting my streams a little bit more polished. And yeah, today's stream isn't going to be like my normal build streams. It's mostly going to be chat, and we might YOLO. Personally, I'd injection mold them in something like glass-filled polycarbonate. That would make sense for some of the parts. I mean, the outer shell, let's turn this all back on. It would make very, very much a good sense to have a lot of this as injection molded, and then have the core parts, the bits that need to tolerate heat and be precise, have all that as SLS. The volume of the tool should be high enough. From what I understand, John, they want to do it all in Sweden, like lock, stock and barrel Sweden. Whether they'll be able to maintain that for long term, I don't know. But that's one of the reasons why the numbers aren't anywhere near as high as everybody was hoping, based on what they were saying in their Discord and on their YouTube chats. So that's my first look at this, guys. So I haven't actually had a chance to look at this prior to now. Nick, you're here. If you don't know him, check out Projects. Those kids test various blasters on him. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Was that the one where he ended up pretty much fetal position by the end? You can injection mold high materials like PPS. I was using my glass company. Yeah, I can understand why cameras would use it. Should I pre-order an Index? Beardy, if you can pre-order an Index now, you're a miracle worker, because they are 100% out of the pre-order stock. Given the size of the new property, yes. I think they had the "we're going to need a bigger boat" kind of stuff going on in their heads after yesterday. I think they were a deer in headlights in terms of their preparation. I don't think they understood just how much the community wanted this. Stephen Machado's from Sweden. Yep. Hi. That means you can go pick yours up in person. That'd be awesome. I know that Ella Fox is planning on picking hers up in person. She lives not too far from the plant, apparently, about 2 hours. Lost your window of opportunity. Beardy, the pre-sale stuff was a bit of a poop show. There was 1,200 units split across roughly 600 across the Prusa Core 1, not the Core 1L, just the Core 1, and the what they're calling Dev Kit, which is the open source version. And yeah, their website is run, as we understand it, on WordPress, and it just couldn't do it. Don't worry, you're probably going to go on within. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy though, John, unless it was me. I think Beardy and I have both done our Prusa look for a little while, so so yeah. So what is going on right now is we have the clear parts for those buttons being printed. I need to design myself an emergency stop button for my Ender 3, which I'll do off stream. I don't want to expose you to how bad my CAD skills are. I am not Beardy by any matter. Their website is those on a Raspberry Pi Pico. No, I don't think it was that bad, but oh, Penguin, how are you? Yeah, so it wasn't the most effective of pre-sale launches. So yeah, this is one time where you kind of wish they had done maybe a Kickstarter page or something else, a bigger platform could have handled it, like Shopify. There was actually comments from me and a bunch of others on their Discord the day before, and they didn't take us very seriously. That they probably did need to spool up a Shopify to cope with the load, but yeah, their reactions weren't. They just were deer in headlights. I don't think they're expecting it. You can't wait till Sunday. What's happening Sunday, Penguin? While I'm waiting for the answer, we'll keep chatting. So yeah, let's go back to me for a minute, because you want to see beautiful me. There we go. And here's the Voron. So let's see if we can get this thing, first of all, powered up. And is that powered up? Yep. Let's move my side camera to here. And every time I move this thing, it bombs out. There we go. And drive it down a bit. I'm not sure if you could hear that, but that's the box turtle booting up. Let's go up a bit. I might just be playing too close, I think. There we go. Let's go down a bit now, so you can see everything that's going on. For those of you who didn't see my handiwork, I actually hand soldered NeoPixels, like the stealth burner kind. I'm just waiting for the Flippy UI to load. And where's the LED? Those ones. Don't die. Don't die. So that is a whole string put together manually of the stealth burner style NeoPixels. The soldering was a little rough on the back, but I managed to keep it nice and tight and effectively. Where's my? Oh, so imagine this is the lineup of the NeoPixels. I ran one continuous wire down one side, one continuous wire down the other, and then in the middle, I had little jumpers from one NeoPixel to the next to allow the data chain to be complete. And then, yeah, soldered some wires on the end. And that's all patched in, so that's all now connected together. My stop is a latch relay for push buttons interrupts. Get back to the Voron. Oh, sorry, now I understand, Penguin, yeah. Pi keeps its 5 volts DC. Oh, your emergency stop, Brad. Now I understand what's going on. Sorry, I'm just trying to pick through what you meant. It sounds like their server got balked. Oh. Why could I see that coming in my head before it even read it? Thank you, John. I think she's from Iceland. Yes, she is. So let's see if we can get this thing sorted out. So I need to go back to this one, and there we go. Now, Phil, you need to remember to use the actual screen, not the OBS display. Let's come down to my printer CFG, and it's not there, it's my start macros, and make sure this is all good. Now, if anybody in chat can help me fix these macros and tell me why silly things aren't working, that would be much appreciated. I've been having an ongoing issue where if I print from Orca Slicer, it's not setting the bed temp and extruder temps. It's just hitting the default values. So that I can work with, and normally I have them set to 110 and 250, so I've saved those as hashed out values to remember for myself, and I've put in safe PLA values. But what I'm trying to do is actually get it so that Orca can send bed_temp and extruder_temp to here, and it actually work. I'm building configs and macros for Trident myself, so hopefully somebody will be able to help us. So let's bring up now Orca Slicer. And that's on that one from memory. Turn on Orca, turn off Prusa. There we go. So chat, I'm hoping you guys can help me. Let's go into the start macros here. I need to go there. And machine G code. Which you guys can't see because of the way they code this. Let me throw this up on the other screen. Now, I have something organized to make this work a bit more effectively. I'm currently projecting anything that I want to show you full screen of onto a 720p ancient TV that we had lying around. That's getting swapped out to a 4K TV that's it can easily be interchanged with. It's from one of the kids' bedrooms. And that's going to make life for doing this a little easier and a lot better resolution. Well, basically what I have to do is I have to project it up onto here to get it to all work. So let's have a look at this machine start G code. And this says, and this is copied straight from the box turtle config, extruder_temp equals, and then this part here is in theory the values from have I got those brackets done wrong? Is that all it is? I'm just having a look at this now. I've actually had a couple of hours sleep. Let's bring chat up again. So grab everything you need from your GitHub. I don't want to use Orca long-term projects. I want to get off of Orca because it irritates me. I'm trying to get it all to work in SuperSlicer, but making it all translate has just been hard. So everything needs to be same line for print start. It shouldn't, Jimmy John, but no, I'm glad to have you here. Comma, so that's already one line, and then there. Copy it from my Orca to whatever slice you want. It works in all of them. It doesn't projects. What each slicer calls the parameters internally, that then gets translated into this extruder_temp or whatever, that's where things get. Current Orca nightly release has settings for perfect bridges. I'll share a video in Discord. I've seen that, Greenbeard. I'm just trying to get to the point where we can YOLO a print at this stage. I don't want to be using Orca, but what I will do is have a look at how it handles it and see if I can then transfer those settings into SuperSlicer, which is just what I prefer to use. So in the meantime, let's see if Jimmy John's suggestion works. So I've transferred all this across, and let's go down a bit because there's something about changes in. Let's bring up. Sorry guys, I'm on my other screen. I'm just bringing up the details to make sure it's all done. Let's, just for clarity's sake, make that as wide as we can. Tool. I am going to nuke that out, and I'm going to copy the Orca slicer straight from the box turtle site. Control C, Control V, and that's in place. So as we can see, I've already got the M104 and that other stuff in place. Set the change filament G code to below value, remove any other custom code here. So copy the whole thing. Change filament G code. I'm doing it again. I'm going to the wrong part. Okay, change filament. Change filament G code and Control V. Extruder temp needs to be on the same line as print start. Okay, let's go back up. Oh, that's good because I copied that in. Let's nuke out that line. Delete. This must be a quirk of the way Orca handles it, because Super Slicer, it's common practice to have it on different lines. Clanhammer's back, but Beardy doesn't believe him. So, in principle, we have that all done. Why do people still torture themselves with Cura? And I don't need to worry about ramming as far as I know, because I've got my sensors all working. So let's go back to here. And there's no save on that, so that's fine. Let's go close. Actually, there was a save at the top, wasn't there? Just make sure it's still here. BT123, just to make it really obvious to spot. Oh, bye, John. So close that out. So we are using box total 123. Bed type is a PEI, doesn't really matter for what we're doing here. Flush volumes, I'm going to leave as standard. I'm not going to worry about that. Just catching up on chat, make sure. Don't forget the variable names are different potentially. Now, the actual variable name is bed underscore temp on both the, let's go back to here. I've got bed underscore temp, extruder underscore temp, and tool. So in principle, they are all the same variable names. So hopefully that's covered. Did you know that you can put this in dark mode? Yeah, I know you can put Orca into dark mode, but I'm trying to get this done. And the way I have to do this so you guys can actually see what's going on projects, it's sucking. So I normally do dark mode. You can see I have dark mode for everything. So yeah. Yes, but not in, okay. So, but bed underscore temp is in that macro that we just copied is bed underscore temp, and extruder underscore temp is extruder underscore temp. So the variables are being passed with the same name. Either way, I've got safe temperatures set as my defaults in the print start. So either way, we should be good for that. While we're waiting for all this to go, let's do a home all. There is going to be so many artifacts with the head moving around like this. But for those of you who aren't regular on my streams, tool initial is wrong in your print start. It should be Control C. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this all right. Okay, so let's hash that line out and go. That didn't work. I just want to keep it there so I've got a record of it for now. Thanks, Jimmy John. That will help. Is there anything else that you can see that is going to cause me a mischief? And I really do appreciate you hanging out here, Jimmy John. This is Pinter. Okay, no idea what's going on there, Brad. So we have got a QGL there. Let's now go back to Orca. I'm just going to whiz this up on a different screen so I can see what's actually going on. And slice plate. And print. Upload and print. Now this is very much a YOLO, guys. Let's go. Oh, I didn't. Let's go save. Emergency stop. Firmware restart. Helps if I save and restart before I start the print to it, so I've got the changes, doesn't it, guys? So back to Orca. Prepare, print, upload and print. Showing off your spelling and stuff. Hi, Kegel. Don't know if I said hi earlier. Kegel, what we're up to tonight is definitely recommend you go back and have a look about 20 minutes ago in the stream, maybe 30. We downloaded the CAD files for the index, and we had a bit of a look around at the simplified CAD to try and surmise what's going on with it. I did manage to get myself on the pre-order for the open source version as opposed to the Prusa version. So a little bit of a win there. We also talked about the fact that the reception for the H2C has been a little bit mixed, and the fact that I don't know anything about a Vivid other than what's publicly available because I don't have one yet. So sorry, Jimmy John, I must have missed something, what was going on there. Let's go back to that config. Oh, thank you. Now I get it. Save. And again, emergency stop. Let's bring chat back up. Sorry. Does H2C stand for H2 crap? Well, I don't have one. All I can do is go off people I've seen who've made videos who I trust their opinions, and the reception hasn't been as warm as I was expecting. People are concerned about things. Who hasn't hit the like button yet? I can see 25 watching and only 3 likes. Guys, seriously, show me some love. Down under make will give you detention. That would mean spending more. Okay, well, let me make something clear for you. If I put one of my students into detention, it means that I have to spend more time with them. I will go out of my way to make sure I don't have to do that. I think they failed on the bed. Yeah, that was one of Joel's particular concerns. 16 likes. Well, that's better than nothing, but 25, come on, if there's 25 people lurking, come on guys, show me some love. According to this, my top fans at this point in time, i.e. the people who are spamming chat the most, are Jeff, Brad, Tulsa, and not far behind is Beardy. So let's go back. Down under may call it unleash the drop bears on you. Who was I talking with? I think it was on yeah, it was on Project's stream overnight. His daughter was hanging out with us on the stream, and we dropped the notion of drop bears on her, and she was a little bit freaked out. 21 likes, that's better. We're improving. There's you some hearts. Thank you. Yeah, we were talking about drop bears, hoop snakes, and blue tongue lizards, which she thought were freaky. Let's go back again to Orca, and what am I doing here? Prepare, print, upload and print. I know my file queue is going to be absolutely rammed with these things, but so be it. And Clownhammer is tagging Kegel for some reason. Look up. There might be a hoop snake. Now, while we're waiting for that to warm up, I'm going to do some odd jobs around my lab. Let's explain what I do, just because it might help what I do help you guys organize. I keep all my hot ends and the socks all in one container. So it doesn't matter which hot end I need, I know where I can get the parts. Same with my fans. And there's a fan, and there's two fans. So what I've been doing while I've been trying to keep my 2-year-old in bed asleep as much as is possible while he's feeling unwell, is I've been slowly going around and stripping down tool heads, including this one, which needs to be stripped down, so that all of my gear is back in one place. For those of you who don't know, up until Index was announced, I was actually planning on building a stealth changer, but it was costing me a fortune. And while I do have access to some of the prototype toolhead boards from various companies for the beta testing, which was going to help keep the cost down, buying Revos was costing me a fortune already. So I very quickly got to the point where I went, no, I need to stop this when Index came out, because it was very patently obvious it was going to be a lot cheaper. Excellent organization. Thanks, Papaway. So things like this, which all need to be kept together, are all kept together. I also normally keep a spare cartographer in here, which I need to put back because just in case the Voron goes down, that means it's just readily available. That cartographer is... Which one have I got on here at the moment? I've currently got the white one on there, but I've got a red cartographer floating around here somewhere, which is going to go in its place so that it all matches the rest of the color scheme on the printer. Okay, so let's swap to... Let's move this out of the way a little bit. Got to go the cheap TZV6. Esoterical swears by them as well, but I wanted something that was like just proven. Will BTT ever send me 5 identical beta boards? Never going to happen. When the original EBB42 was available, they sent me 2. The guy who was responsible for dealing with all us beta testers, he knew what I was intending, and he was quite happy to try and help, providing I took the 42 boards. Obviously, everybody wanted the 36 boards because they were what everybody was used to, And the 42s aren't very popular amongst hobbyists, but they're a lot more popular amongst business buyers and companies who are building printers commercially. I'm going to put that over there out of the way so I don't stab myself on that blade. Let's see if we can adjust that angle a bit for you guys. One sec. There you go. You enjoy your self changer and currently using as a debt platform for AFC. So does that mean, Jimmy John, that we're going to see some crossover to allow box turtle style systems to work in conjunction with multi-tool head operations? I take it the fumes do that. Oh, you mean the smokiness on my glass, greenie? Yeah, it's not the best. I do believe in cleaning, and all the clear spots are actually probably finger grease, because that helps smooth out whatever's going on with that stuff inside the... It didn't load the tool head, and the nozzle height is way too high. So we've got stuff going wrong here. Dashboard, stop. Let's bring Jimmy John up so I can read his chat. There may be a video on your channel. I'll have to take a look at that. So, Jimmy John, any insights on why it didn't load the filament for the first tool? Let's have a look at my start macro. Chrome, machine. Phil is a pothead. He has been hotboxing his moron again. Sadly, Nick, that's probably one thing that will never ever happen. Back in my late teens and early 20s, I had my pilot's license, and due to various medical reasons, I had to give it up. But those medical issues are all but dealt with, and hopefully, if I can get some cash together, I'm going to go renew my pilot's license, which is going to preclude such activities, unfortunately, because they will spot check. Any errors in your console? Let's have a look. Cancel. Dashboard. So we need to readjust the Z height, but I'll worry about that in a second. I just get the purge command and there's nothing else there. Pass the printer to the left-hand side. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get this screw out of the polycarbonate. It makes a squeaky noise and it's pretty much captive in there, so I'm gonna have to hammer that one out. In fact, all of them are. Index CPAP brought to you by Bong Tech. Okay. So, Jimmy John, any ideas? There's no errors in the console. Let's go back to our start macro. We go to our bed temp. We go to our initial nozzle temp of 150. We do our scanning. It then says to load the tool, which it didn't do. So there's something not right there. Anybody else got any ideas? Because I replaced this exactly like Jimmy John suggested, and that's not doing anything for us. That's not a 4-leaf clover. I was going to say something there, but it is not very nice. So that's my fans box. While we're waiting, let's put that Revo in there. Now, can you go big with the console? Sure. Close. There's the console. Let me know if you need me to scroll down. Now, I'm not going to subject you guys to a screw sorting stream, but I do have screws in a huge box. You do live in Colorado. Yes, I know you live in Colorado. For a long time in Western Australia, there was an accepted tolerance of one plant. So it was either 1 or 2 plants per man living in the household. Man being any kind of man, woman, or child. And I'm just checking the prusa, and we have the same problem with these prints. So it must be something to do with the print profile. They print beautifully clear, or clearish, but it loses the detail for the back of the button. Scroll down, sure. Please home your printer before doing a tool head load. We had homed our printer. Okay, so let's just... Let's go back to the macro. Aha! Okay, so that makes more sense. That's why, yep. Let's move this G32. Cut. Enter. Paste. Save and restart. Error found, woohoo! We are making wins. So let's go back to my overhead camera. I'm definitely getting wins in terms of the clarity of my Pet G, but it's lost all the detail for the back of the button. So what I might do is, just for the sake of it, I might reslice that using the not very clear profile, if I can get them off the bed. get back to that in a second. So, printer rebooted. We're confident that the print itself is good. So I'm not going to send it from Orca this time. I'm just going to send it from here. Let's go back to side camera. Did you not load main cell? I haven't had time, Jimmy John. I explained at the beginning of the stream, I've got a 2-year-old who is barely sleeping because he's very sick, and I managed to get him to sleep, and I seized that moment to get some sleep myself. So as soon as I get half an hour to myself when I'm not streaming, I will unzip that straight over the top, because I did download it, and it's just a case of WinSCP, throw it in and go from there, I think. So box turtle serial, blah, 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 1.4 mega print. And fortunately, the bed temperature is already pretty close, so it shouldn't take very long to heat up. Did you vibe code the macros, Phil? The macros have been all over the place. I do so much testing that I have that whole start broken out. You got time now? Dude, seriously. I want to YOLO the print. And if we YOLO the print, then I will get you to quickly guide me through doing it in terms of the unzip and dumping it in place. I'm pretty sure I know what I need to do, but if you're here, I might as well make use of your awesomeness. Actually, we do know that the Z height was wrong, so I should probably have fixed that first, but I can fix it from here as on the fly. You can do it without restarting anything. I suppose it is live. Okay, let's go to... I was on my other machine. So let's go Chrome. And we go AFC UI box turtle. And then you go no, that's not it. That one. So I realized I downloaded it onto my laptop that I was using yesterday, not to here. Download the zip. Sorry, I know I've gone quiet, I'm just watching it. Clan hams. 3 plants per house, but has to be in the house, not in a shed. Ah, okay. Yeah, what my step aunt about 20 years ago, she ended up in all sorts of trouble because taking part in the process where you could have 2 plants. They had 3 adults in a household, so she had 6 plants, and their dog ate them and ended up in the vets. So yeah, is that a CPAP? Or just to see me? Yes, it's a CPAP, Dave. Dave, did you hit like? It hasn't loaded the tool. You sent me the command. Thank you. Let's go back to main cell for a minute. Let's go to console. Loading lane 1. Okay, so it must be about to do it. Setting extruder to 235. Okay, so we're getting there. You smashed the like button. Who are going to fight for not doing it too? Probably Nick's always slack. Oregon is 6 plants per household. Oh, John's back. Hi, John. We're just currently discussing various marijuana laws around the world. Oh, something's going on. Toolhead is loading. There it comes. Will we see some poopage? Will we see some poopage? Yes, we have poopage. It's now doing some brushing. $10 per household. Wow, that's liberal. That bed scan is crazy high, but it's obviously happy with it. I haven't touched any of those macros, Jimmy. I'm just relying on what the default stuff is, apart from like tuning it for the stealth burner. Hooray for poop. It's now setting itself to the correct filament temperature for the PLA. Now I have to drop this nozzle height by a bunch. Idle timeout set to that. Wait, what? Oh, it's paused for some reason. Now this is going to be a bit jank, guys, because for some reason the Z offset is way off. But we've achieved more than I was expecting. Tool runout sensor detected a tool start sensor, but upstream sensors still detect filament, possible filament break or clogging. Okay. Let's show you that. There. Tool head runout detected upstream sensors still detect filament. Okay. So let's go back to the dashboard and go BT tool unload. Is adjusting the temperature back to 235. Now it's trying to retract and it's unable to. The motor is currently screaming its brains out. And it stopped. So that's the... Just to check what's going on, I've pulled the PTFE out. It managed to extract it as far as the top of the tool head. But it's now appears to be jammed somewhere in the mechanism. Just wait for it to time out. Yeah, the tool head sensor was finicky yesterday. I had all sorts of trouble, so I ended up just stripping the whole thing out and putting it all back together. I even reamed out the PTFE filament channel just to make sure that it was exactly perfect and everything fit in its right spot. May as well get rid of the... And I'm waiting for it to time out. What's Dave saying? Terry said, do not toss those tents, we need them. Okay. As long as I'm not talking about tossing salads, it's all good, I guess. Jimmy, is this going to time out or should I hit the emergency stop? Disabling the tool head switch in main cell will stop that check. Okay, lane 1 hub is not clear. I know it's not clear because it didn't extract the filament. So let's eject all the filament from the other lanes and then we can turn this thing over and see what's going on. Eject lane 2. Lane 2 is out. Eject lane 3. Lane 3 is out. Okay, so we have the 3 non-jam spools out. Let's power off. Disconnect the power, disconnect the USB. Actually, this is a good thing I can show you guys what I did yesterday as well. And I'm going to write off this filament that's in the system. Sorry, just concentrating on what I'm doing so I don't drop anything. Dump all that crap there. So what's going on is the filament is currently jammed, presumably at the extruder drive. You're falling asleep over here, Alex? No worries. I'll catch you later, man. Let's turn this around so I can show you guys the small change that I've made here. Yeah, that's not pulling out anytime soon. Just going to hold this in place and show you. I've actually installed a Type-C USB extender there, which means that I can unplug the unit so much easier. And I'm yet to mount this, but I've done the same for the power. I've got a 2-pin Molex, which is running the power, because I can't run CAN bus at the same time as cartographer. Otherwise, they don't play nice. So I'm going to cut the spool off at this here. And then we should dissect it. That's what she said. Time is it? I've got about 10 minutes. Let's see if we can work out what's going on. I know my wiring it hasn't been tied back yet. But as Armored 3D Printing said yesterday, wiring comes when everything's working. So now in theory, I've taken most of this tension off the filament at that point. And there. That's really stripped, but why it's stripped and what caused it to jam up are the questions. Now before I put this back together, I'm just going to strip. Let's get all the filament off that drive. Okay, so that's stripped out and cleaned. Put the screw back in. That's just starting to be finger tight. That's all pushed back together. As you can see, being able to just flip it over like this makes it a lot easier than it was before. So that's all ready to go. That's all ready to put back on. Anybody got any input on why that might have happened? Well, hello everyone. QC's 3D Printing. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Welcome aboard. We are experimenting with the box turtle after having a long discussion with regards to FormNext and a few of the product launches that have come out of it. That filament can go over there. I've got a friend who has one of those. Yes, it's yes another box turtle. We have Jimmy John, one of the software devs, with us in chat, and he's helped me resolve a couple of bugs that I should have been able to solve myself, but I couldn't quite get there. Just plugging the USB in. Where's my power? That's not my power. That's the CAN in. There's the power. You have to run, Jeff. That's no worries. Have a good day. We're about to wind up in a couple of minutes anyway. The lack of launches. Oh, there's been plenty of launches, just some of them weren't very smooth. So that's all ready to boot back up. We'll give this one last try. We're all judging down on the maker's questionable choices. Nick seems to think I should have spent more money and bought the Prusa Index starter pack and not the Clipper one. He's entitled to his opinion. It's a wrong opinion. How do you get the main sale for box turtle? Why don't we do that and then QC can see? You've just sent me the command you said, so let's jump into Discord. Okay. All right, I've got Jimmy John's file. So let's go to, oh, sorry, his command. WinSCP, that's what I'm going to need. Now, I'm not going to mess around and throw this all up on the screen. Yes, we're on the Voron, logging in. We need to go to downloads. There. And mainsail ALC develop. And we need to go to printer data config mainsail.zip. So what I'm doing, guys, off screen is I'm just copying that file which contains the zip of the turtle stuff. Hopefully. Let's do a refresh, see if it turned up. No, it didn't copy across. Copy it to here. Okay, that's in place. Let's go to Putty, which I can show you guys. For official mainsail, we've been told it will release to as fast as 2.15. Nice. Let's go to actually load Putty. Restart my session. Okay. So Jimmy John's just sent me this command and I can, that's not what I was trying to do. Let's just hit enter and make it error. It's faster. And it says it's done. So in theory, we should now be able to go back to Chrome. And is it Shift F5? Nothing's going on here. Do we need to go up here and enable it? So let me just paste that into chat for you guys. So you've got the command that I just used. That's not the one I want. Where did chat go? Chat's here somewhere there. So you have to copy it to that folder first via WinSCP, of course, and then you run the Oh, it said it couldn't find it. Let's go back to Putty. That's weird. Let's try this. CD. I'm just doing a star.zip. Oh, I did the AFC develop, not the... It's the wrong file name. Mainsail AFC develop.zip is the one that's there. So we just need to change your command a little bit. That's looking more like it. And refresh. And it says it worked on putty, but we're getting nothing in mainsail. All right, guys, I am running rapidly out of time, and Mrs. Maker needs to tracking back to me over here. Okay, I'm running rapidly out of time, and I need to let Mrs. Maker get back to her day job. So I have been Phil. I have been the Down Under Maker. We have done lots of crazy crap today. We've talked about FormNext. We've fumbled around with Box Turtle, with many thanks to Jimmy John, who saved my butt on a bunch of things that I was doing silly. And I will have another play with getting this UI to work later on. Please feel free to join my Discord. The link has been spammed in chat quite regularly over the last few minutes, so click that link. I have made that a permanent link. And Nick, at some stage over the weekend, I might grab you if I can to get you to help me test out the permissions on the chat command, so you can do the camera swapping for me. And with that, I will bid you a goodbye. It's time for me to hop on out of here. Bye, guys.